Afternoon, everyone. Bill Renchler in the 1011 Now streaming studio along with Eddie Messel. It is end of February, early March.
It's that time.
It is that time. It is state basketball time.
One of the best times of the year.
Yes, one of the best 2 weeks of the year. Usually,
last year 1 week, which was a little hectic. So nice for us that it's split back up with girls this week, boys coming up next week.
And usually the weather kind of goes sideways this time of year. And I think for right now, things look like they should be okay for you.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Today, a nice day outside today, so I can't complain about today.
Absolutely not a bad day. Again, to kind of just take a look at the bracket again. Girls games start tomorrow. Again, we still have some district boys finals to wrap up tonight. We'll have highlights of those tonight at 6 and 10. But then tomorrow, I mean, we just jump right in. I mean, how many games are you guys covering tomorrow?
We got about I think 10 games total between all of us. So starting at 9 a.m. Start at 9 a.m. They run all the way up until 7:45. So a lot of really good games to look out for tomorrow. Like Bill said, we'll kind of look at the graphics here. A lot of Lincoln teams staying in Lincoln, not making the trip to Lincoln. So a lot of Lincoln teams to look out for. But we'll start taking a look at some of the brackets, and we'll work our way up, starting with girls in Class D.
And before we jump right in, I also just again want to point out right now we're live on our YouTube channel as well as on our live stream. We have added, again, if you're watching on the live stream and you haven't subscribed to that YouTube channel, there's a QR code on your screen there. If you scan that, it'll take you right to our YouTube channel for 1011. Again, you'll get news, weather, sports updates. Again, hopefully doing more of these sports updates through state basketball. Again, girls this week, and again, boys next week. But we'll go ahead and we'll jump right into it. And Eddie, like you mentioned, here is a look at the bracket. And again, we're going to start Class D2 here on the bottom right-hand side of the page. And again, number 1 seed, Falls City Sacred Heart, 23-3 this year.
Probably the favorite again, obviously, is the number one seed. They won it last year. Falls City Sacred Heart, they've become a powerhouse in volleyball and basketball on the girls' side of things. So really need to look out for them. They are a tough team to beat every year in this tournament.
And they're playing 8 seed Layton, 16-5, and that game is actually on Thursday at 9 a.m., and they get to play at Pinnacle Bank.
Oh, yeah, and then another thing to look out for is the 5 seed, Humphrey St. Francis. They were in the championship last year against Falls City Sacred Heart, so a potential rematch of the championship in the second round, and both of those teams were able to pull it out. McCool Junction, really good team this year.
24-2.
Won one of the conference tournaments this year. That was fantastic. They won on a buzzer beater, one of our best highlights of the year. So McCool Junction, definitely a team to look out for as well. But it would be cool to see Humphrey St. Francis, Falls City Sacred Heart, again, a rematch in that semifinal game from last year's championship game.
And again, that McCool Junction and Humphrey St. Francis game is on Thursday morning at 10:45, also at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Next one on the list, Shelton, number 2 seed. They're 22-1, facing off against Wilcox Hildreth, 18-7, 7 seed for them. Again, that game also Thursday at 6 p.m. They're playing at Devaney. Any thoughts on that matchup?
Well, Shelton is making the move to D2 after being in D1 last year, so they actually made it to the championship last year. So look out for them as well. Shelton's going to be a team to look out for in that Class D2 final.
And the last game in D2, again, also on Thursday in the evening, number 3 seed St. Mary's, 22-2 versus number 6 seed Wynot, 16-9. That game tips at 7:45, tentatively at 7:45, depending on the previous game before it. So then if we go up to Class D1 here, again, right here, number 1 seed Ravenna this year. They will tip off tomorrow, playing against 8 seed SEM. Ravenna 24-2, SEM 18-4. That's a 9 a.m. tip at Pinnacle Bank. Is that one you're going to be at tomorrow, Eddie?
The Ravenna one, we will be at that game. That's the early game tomorrow, so we will be there. That's the early start, so 9 o'clock. Look out for that one. That'll be a fun one as well. Ravenna have been a really good team this year in Class D. 24-2.
Second game 2 of the D1 bracket, Hastings St. Cecilia, 17-7 versus Elmwood Murdoch, 21-5. That game tips 10:45, also at PBA tomorrow morning. Should be another good one. Hastings St. Cecilia, always a good team.
Hastings St. Cecilia, like you said, always super competitive. Elmwood Murdoch coming in at 21-5, though, still getting the 5 seed. Hastings getting the nod above them. So, again, another really good game. Another one to look out for, that Johnson Brock game, the 3 verse 6, Johnson Brock. They got a big win, so congrats to them. They're going to be fun to watch. Hopefully, they can make a little noise too as the 6th seed in Class D1.
Yep, and that's that game. 3 seed Cedar Catholic versus number 6 seed Johnson Brock at Devaney, tipping at 7:45. The game before it is number 2 seed Centura versus number 7 seed EPPJ, and that's at 6 p.m. Any other thoughts on Class D1 before we move on to Class C?
No, we're just we're excited to get the Class D girls going.
You will never hear me not say that the sports people are the hardest working people by far in the building. Again, shooting upwards of a dozen games tomorrow, likely again on Thursday. And, it gets a little easier once, there's less teams involved. But you guys do great work. Then you get to do it all again next week with the boys.
Oh, yeah.
So Class C1, number 1 seed this season, North Bend, 25-1. They're going to face off against number 8 seed UTAN, 22-4. That game also tomorrow at 9 a.m., tipping off at Devaney. North Bend having a great season, only suffering the 1 loss.
Yeah, North Bend definitely the team to look out for in C1. But another fun matchup is that next game right under Wahoo.
Malcolm, couple local teams there.
Oh, yeah, a couple local area teams. So they've faced off a couple times this year so far. Wahoo, they have been great on the boys and girls side. So was Malcolm as well. So really good year for the Warriors and the Clippers. But that'll be a fun game at 10:45.
And then the game 3 is number 2 seed Bridgeport, 24-0. But still getting the 2 seed against Lincoln Christian, local team, 22-3. Devaney at 1:30 tomorrow afternoon. That should be one. I'm sure that will be. Can Bridgeport stay undefeated?
Well, we'll see. Lincoln Christian, like I said, the Lady Crusaders, they have been on fire this year as well. Like you see, they're only the 3 losses. So Lincoln Christian, the boys, a little bit of a slower year, but the girls, they've really picked things up this year. So Lincoln Christian's been fun to watch. That'll be one of our, like you said, big games tomorrow with Lincoln School.
Yep, and then the last game in C1, number 3 Adams Central, 24-1, taking on Gothenburg, coming in from Western Nebraska, 20-4, and they're going to look to improve that record with an upset over Adams Central.
Yeah, Adams Central just really fun to watch this year, so just look out for them. They're going to be fun as the 3 seed.
And if we go up another bracket, we're going to look at Class B again, kind of get into some more Lincoln and local teams here. Number 1 seed this year, Elkhorn North, 22-1, and they're going to take on Norris. I will fully admit, I'm a graduate of Pius, so I'm just going to let that speak for itself. But again, Norris always puts up good teams, and they always put up a good fight year-round and in all sports.
Yeah, our overnight producer, Ryan Swanigan, he's covered, he does a lot of play-by-play. He's been covering the Norris teams pretty heavily this year, so he's been really high on both boys and girls. If you didn't see how that boys game ended last night, buzzer beater from a freshman to send the Titans to state for both the girls and boys programs. So congrats to Norris, 2 fantastic years. Norris, they're going to have a uphill battle, though, trying to take on Elkhorn North.
Yeah.
Britt Prince is arguably, in any class, one of the best girls basketball players in the state, if not the best. She is fantastic. Norris, they have struggled against Elkhorn North multiple times this year.
Well,
so we'll see if they can finally get it done.
Chance for revenge.
It's hard to beat a team 2, 3, 4 times, so, maybe Norris has figured it out, but they got a tough road ahead. They got a tough road ahead.
Only takes one. That game tips. That's on Thursday at 1:30 at PBA. Game 2 for Class B, York, 20-3. The Dukes facing off against Scotts Bluff, 21-5 for Scotts Bluff. And that game also Thursday afternoon game, 3:15 at PBA. Again, that should be another good one. The Dukes and Scotts Bluff duking it out.
There you go. I saw that pun coming. I could see it in your eyes as you were getting ready.
It was a mile away.
York, another program that for girls and boys has had a really successful year. One of my favorite gyms to go to. Their gym is awesome to watch a basketball game. The Lady Dukes, so they have been fantastic this year. They have Port Wine. She's kind of one of the leaders of their team. She's been really fun to watch. Look out for her tomorrow. Or on March 2nd.
March 2nd, yep. And then game 3, Omaha Skutt. They come in undefeated, 23-0, taking on Waverly, 17-7. They have the 7 seed. That game Thursday at 6 p.m. at PBA should be another good one. Again, kind of a local team versus the Omaha Metro undefeated Skutt team there.
Yeah, Skutt and Elkhorn North, the 2 teams. When you think of Class B on the girls' side, for sure, that was the matchup last year in the Class B state final. Obviously looking like it's poised for that setup again. Waverly, just similar to Norris, kind of an uphill battle. It's going to be a tough game for them. But again, once you're in the state tournament, anything can happen. That game's going to be a fun one, too. Looking for if Waverly and Norris, those would be two major upsets if they're able to get those done.
I mean, at 6 p.m. game at PBA, should be a pretty good crowd.
Should be a pretty good crowd.
A couple games already there at PBA, people hang
stay,
out. Yep.
They hang out. Everyone likes to see the 6 o'clock to 7:45 games. Those are the games that really feels like
have a good crowd.
Oh yeah.
Feels like state.
Yes.
And then game 4, 7:45 Thursday evening. 3 seed Sydney, 24-2, taking on Beatrice, number 6 seed. They're 17-4. That tips at 7:45 again. So you got a couple teams from out west trekking into Lincoln for state with Scottsbluff and Sydney.
Yep. And Beatrice, the Lady Orange, they've had a pretty solid year as well. They play a little bit of a slower pace game. They like to really make you try and beat them. They don't make a ton of mistakes. So if they're able to play that game that they want and control the tempo, look out for the Lady Orange to maybe get an upset too in that first game.
And then Class A, again, we have these games start tomorrow. The first one will be 1:30 at Pinnacle Bank. Millard South, number 1 seed Millard South, taking on 8 seed Lincoln Southwest. Southwest finished the year 14-10. Just squeaking into the state tournament here at the very end of the year.
So this is a matchup I think a lot of people are looking forward to in Class A. Obviously a Lincoln team, Lincoln Southwest, the big story there. Kennedy Williams, for anybody who doesn't know, is the daughter of Amy Williams. She will also be attending Nebraska for her she's going to be a softball player and basketball player, so she's going to play for her mom. She was injured with a knee injury. She came back for their district final game, and she is a big reason why they won the district final game and they're in state this year. Lincoln Southwest also knocked out Millard South last year. So another rematch there, and this is a different Lincoln Southwest team with Kennedy Williams on the floor, 14-10. Don't let that fool you. They're
sneaky good.
They are sneaky good. I don't think Millard South is too excited about playing them in the first round.
All right. Well, we've got to move quickly here through this last couple. Game 2, Bellevue West versus Bellevue East. So a battle of the Bellevues there. That game tomorrow at 3:15. Game 3 is 2 seed Millard North taking on another Lincoln team, Lincoln North Star. They finished the year 17-7, grabbing the 7 seed. And the last game tomorrow, Lincoln High, another local Lincoln team. They finished 23-1, taking on Millard West, 17-7 at 7:45. So,
quick 2 thoughts about those games. Congrats to North Star, both the boys and girls programs. The game yesterday for the boys was fantastic, taking down Gretna, but the girls getting to state for the first time in program history. And they are a young team, a lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores. They are super fun to watch. So look out for North Star. They're going to be able to make some noise. And Lincoln High, I think, has a very solid chance. If anybody hasn't seen the Lincoln High women play yet, coached by Dominique Kelly, she is fantastic. I think Lincoln High has a very solid chance to come out of the Class A with a state title this year.
all right, there we go. Call it a prediction, maybe?
There you go. Maybe.
right.
I don't know. We'll
Maybe.
see. There's a lot of good teams in Class A.
I don't know if you're allowed to do predictions, Eddie.
We'll see. Lincoln High is really good. Southwest, Bellevue West is a team to obviously look out for. Southwest upset Bell West. So you got to look out for a couple of those teams. Class A is going to be super competitive this year, and I think people are going to get their money's worth.
Awesome. All right. Well, again, Eddie Messel, Bill Rentschler, 1011 Now, streaming studio. Hope to bring you more updates like this, especially as we get into state. Again, certainly we'll do the same thing again next week with the boys, kind of just breaking down the bracket for you just a little bit. And again, you and Kevin and folks from our sister station, KSNB, all in town. There's going to be tons of people shooting highlights for all these games. Again, you're going to be able to catch everything on air on the 1011 5, 6, and 10, or not 5 o'clock, but 6 and 10 tomorrow. And again, anything you miss, certainly it's going to be online on 1011now.com. And again, hopefully maybe we can get some of those highlights on our YouTube channel as well.
Oh yeah, and a lot, like I said, a lot to look forward to tonight too. Last couple teams will get the chance to punch their ticket to state tonight. So check those highlights out. 10 o'clock tonight. Kevin's gonna have a ton of them. We'll also plug senior night for Husker men's basketball. Look out for that tonight. It's a big game against Michigan State. So the Huskers hope to hopefully make the NCAA tournament with a couple wins here. You don't want to get too excited.
Let's go for NIT first, and then we'll hope for NCAA. We got to win a few more games before I think we start talking. We went down in the net ranking, even though
that's what happens.
Doesn't make any sense. But like
a lot of
Eddie
good stuff tonight, though. So look out for it on 6 and 10.
All right. Appreciate everyone joining in. 5 o'clock news here starts in just about a minute, so catch all the latest news and weather there. And again, Kevin Suits will have the latest tonight at 6 and 10. Thanks, everyone.